Hi everyone, my name is Varmar, and in this video I'm going to show you what I've been working on recently, which is basically a JavaScript based charting plugin. Now I wanted to create this charting plugin because I wanted to use charts into my own projects, which I'm developing or creating, and I was a little bit tired of using all the time the same charts, which is usually either AM charts or charts.js or Apex charts, and I didn't want it to use these all the time. And sometimes I needed a little bit more customization than what these particular charting plugins offer. So I decided to create my own charting plugin, which I named it ChartForge. Now this ChartForge plugin is basically have for start 9 different charts, but of course I will add new charts later on, but I have the basic ones for now as a starting 1.0 initial release. Now what you need to do about this plugin is that it has multiple themes. So I have 5 beautiful themes included in the system, and they also dark and light mode compatibles. And these are all basically control the font types, the font weight, the background color, the outline color, the official kind of outlook of the chart itself, and they both support dark. All the themes support dark and light mode. And good to know that the dark and light is triggerable by yourself, so I did not do any auto detection. I could have do like a class-based auto detection, but you can initialize this chart by sending dark mode true or false. You have some smooth animation, so how the charts appear out from nowhere, or they have some animation how they roll in. You have 9 different charts, so you have the pie, column, bar, line, area, candlestick, bubble, tree map, and radial bar for start, of course, but I'm planning to add more along the way. So they're fully responsive, so they look good on desktop, so they look good on phones. I'm still a little bit adjusting this responsiveness, but they should be fine on all devices. Now the integration is super easy, 3 simple steps to do. You don't need to have any dependencies or anything that you need to do to actually create those charts. And it's lightweight and fast because the only one single file, a total of 9 charts, and right now it's just under 5,000 lines of code, which is just under 200 kilobytes. It's super fast, right? So in terms of licensing, I'm planning to release it for hobby and personal projects for free, and the commercial license either $10 or $20. I'm still deciding, but it's going to be a lifetime commercial license, so it's worth to grab. Some news section where I'm gonna post some news, and let's jump into the actual charts, shall we? So basically it does have design themes, so I can do like, I don't know, minimalistic. It has some nice background color. The default does not have any background color, it's transparent. Minimalistic has some background color, different text, different fonts and weights, etc. And then some modern and some cyberpunk. You get that nice gradient background or a professional one, so you get different types. They're all changing the basic color palette, they're changing animations, borders, shadows, etc. You can customize the different colors, and then you also have some animations, meaning how the charts are actually appearing, like as you see, like that's the actual animation. Okay, so tutorial, I explain here basically what you need to know. All you need to know is that you just add the script tag like this into your project, and then in the HTML you just simply add the div calling my chart with setup as much width or height as you want to, and then in this script tag you add this ChartForge.js, and then you initialize it with a simple code like this, and then it shows how to create those particular charts like this. This is actual code that renders out these actual charts, right? So yeah, and then there is a chart gallery where you can explore all the different charts like that. That's the ones that I created so far. Let's go over a few one. So let's start with the pie one. This is all the modification or customization that you can find for a given chart. If you change something and you go into the show code, it's going to change, and you can literally just copy this code from here. And as long as in the tutorial you added the script tag to the ChartForge and you added the div tag into the HTML section, as long as you did that, you can just go here and copy this code and it will actually be usable like this in the HTML. Now, of course, this is fake data. So as you can see, like this data is all fake. You need to replace this with some variables. I don't know, you're rendering something from your database, from the backend, you're passing it to your front end or whatever, you're getting it from your backend, and you initializing the chart with that. It's up to you how you do it. I show you with like 3 or 4 fake data like this. You can randomize it, get some more data, whatever, you know, and then it will show like this. Okay, let's go to customizations. So for customizations, what we can do is, let's do the original one like this. So what we can do for customization, first of all, you can set themes, right? So you can get a modern theme, you can get some minimalistic theme, you can get some cyberpunk, some professional one, and of course you have a custom one. We'll get to the custom. Let's go back to default for now. You have an inner radius. So for example, you can do a donut chart out of a pie chart. You have the angles, like what it should actually land on, you know, so the actual start angle. You have labels. If I turn off the labels, you're not going to see the labels in there. If I turn back, you see. You have legend. You can remove the legend from here, or you can take it back. You have a tooltip. So if I go there, no tooltip. If I click this, there is tooltip, right? Like there is tooltip. It's like this, yeah. You have also values. If I to remove these, so the percentages like this, and you remove the labels like this, and it's just like this. So you have a bunch of customizations. There's also glow effects. So if I do glow effect, you see a little bit of glowing in there. Animations. Now, if I don't do animations and I do like this, you see, it's like aggressively just doing like this. But if I have animation, as say I have a fast one, bam, there you go, a very fast animation. But I can do a small one like this. You see, it's going to be very slow to turn around, right? And of course, you have custom colors. So you can take this blue one. I don't know, set it to something like a red one. You can take this orange one, set it to this one. And everything that you did here so far, you go to the show code and it's literally going to be aligned here, right? So you can just, again, copy the code, change the data from there, and you're done. It's all working. Now you also have a custom here. And if you do custom, you also can change a bunch of different things. So you can change the text color. You can change like nice white. You can change the grid color. Well, it doesn't have a grid right now, but in charts where it does have grids, you can change that. Border color right now is white around these. Let's change it to something like a blue one, right? So if I don't hover, you see there's blue one right there. Let's change it to a red, for example. Well, it doesn't see because this is red, but let's go back to white is visible. Like this, good. We can do border radius. Again, it's a pie chart. It's not. I'm gonna remove the unrelated stuff because pie chart obviously doesn't have border radius. Shadow blur. Also, not all projects have this, or shadow offsets for that matter. Font size. Now, font size you increase the font size both on the legend and onto the charts. Also, font family. So you can select like different font types with this one. Like this, and it's gonna render it that way. Normal, font weight, medium, or you can do some bold, as you can see. So you have actually really intensive customization options for yourself and render out the way that you exactly want to render out. And then you have some key features on each page, and then all the configurable options that you can do. So I explain everything that you can or cannot do here. Basic format, minimal format, blah, blah, blah. And then once you're happy, again, you just go show code, you copy this. As you can see now, it added all the custom stuff because I render in custom, so it's dynamically changing. Let's go to a column chart, for example. That's my column chart. Now we also have chart mode. So in some of the charts, there is single series, but there's also grouped ones, or there's actually stacked ones, which I'm still working on. But then the grouped ones are like, for example, like this. Theme, again, you can do the exact same thing like this. You can select different themes or get it custom, whatever. Column spacing, for example, here you can do spacing between like sets of columns, right? So like this, or you can do it without minimum. If I go back to single series, it's more visible like this, or go like this. Let's go back to default mode. Here you have the show grid, like you see behind the grid. So we can do like this. and then the grid is not visible anymore. Labels, again, we can remove the labels from below it. We can show or remove legends. Again, tooltips, if I hover, there is. If I remove the tooltips from there, it's not. Glow effect, add a little bit of glowing to it. Animations, again, if I turn it off, right? So if I turn it off, let's say, and I select like this, it's straight away. If I enable animations, let's say with a relatively small animation, if I do like this, they very slowly appear. And again, custom colors, you can change all this set of colors here accordingly. Again, same situation, configure options, all explained, etc. You're happy, you show a code and you got it. So I have bar charts with single series and grouped series, and I also have stacked ones, which I'm still working on. They flow a little bit out of the screen. I need to fix that. I do have line charts like this. Now in line charts, you can have the curve tension, right? So you have some curved options, and as you can see, if I max this out, it's relatively nice curvature in the line. But if I do like this, it's very, you know, straight ones. Like you can increase the radius points on them, like bigger points like this, or you can do tiny points like that. You can do line width. I can do a really fat line like this. I can do a glow effect on it, right? I can do custom colors, again, grid, etc. I can show the points or remove the points to be not shown anymore. If I take the line width, and I increase the point radius, it's more visible. I can take off the points, or I can put back the points, and now it's points. Same for the values. Let's see, I put values in there. Now you see the values are present on each of those particular points, right? So you have a bunch of options in this one, and of course, single series and multi-series like this. There's not a scrolling yet. I'm going to implement a scrolling possibly today for the line and the area and the candlestick charts, because they need some scrolling on larger data sets. But that's how it currently looks like. Again, you can remove or add the legend on the top right corner, whatever. Area chart, relatively similar to the other one. You can get also a curvature here and even more smooth. Well, if you overkill it, it's going to look a little bit weird, right? But getting a nice, relatively nice curvature setup can yield a really nice chart here. Point radius, fill opacity, for example, you can get it to 10%, so the filling is barely visible, right? So you can get 100%, and the filling going to be really, really visible. Same situation, glow, animations, effects, values, etc. You can all put it on top, and of course you can customize the filling and the line color also. And exact same, I'm showing all the configurable options. Candlestick, for example, looks like this for now. Still working on this particular one. Yeah, and you can do the bullish and bearish colors options here. Animations, how they appear, etc. Bubble maps still not finished. It's a bit clunky. Tree maps is looking currently like this. Where you have some padding, some rectangle padding, how much padding you want to have between them, you know. So, or you remove the padding and they're almost touching each other. Color intensity, label size, like how large the label size should be on the particular ones. Color intensity, like I said, and the usual stuff. Oh, and you have a radial bar also. Same stuff, radial bar comes with legend, which can be, of course, removed or not removed. You have some bar spacing in there, like how much spacing you want to add between bars, like it's a little spacing, but if I do like this, it's relatively large spacing, right? The values are not just thrown above them, but they actually in a little same matching color containers. We have some inner radius, you have some bar width, and the usual setup, right? So that's kind of how it looks like currently. And of course, like I said, it's each of them support dark and white mode, meaning that if I set here into white mode, now it supports a white mode. As you can see, the text currently rapidly changed to black, the outline already black. So everything is changed. I can go back to dark mode and now it's white. You see, and even a tooltip, if I hover over, or the legend, sorry, where it's like right away shows black text. But if I do like this, it's white text. So that's why it supports dark mode and white mode. And if you send it on dark mode, all it does is here, you're doing a new ChartForge, dark mode true. If dark mode is false, let me just switch it like this. Dark mode false, that means that it's going to initialize in a different one. And let's say I do Cyberpunk like this, you see? So it has a dedicated set of values for each theme. So I said it's dark mode and white mode compatible, and I'm trying to set up good colored themes. And basically these preset themes are basically controlling the background color, the text color, the grid color, the border radius, the shadow blur, shadow offset, font size, font family, and font weight. This is what it essentially controls. I set 5 preset, but you feel free to do the full custom where you set yourself, and then set the font size to whatever you want. Regarding the backend code, currently we are at 5,081. We are slightly over 5,000 lines of code. It does come with a base class. So this is the actual base class, which is roughly 500, 250 lines of code as the base class. And basically this is what you trigger when you create a new chart. So you are triggering the ChartForge base class. You're sending the values, like I want a pie chart, this is my colors, this is my data, this is my stuff. And the ChartForge base class going to trigger to create a particular, like, do you want a pie chart? Sure, let me get you a pie chart. These are the values, let's pass it to the pie chart and render that out. So, and this is fully modular in a sense that if you have a project where you just want to drop a pie chart or a column chart, and you want nothing else, you don't want any other charts, just want a column chart, then you just take the base class like this one right here, and you just add the column chart, right? And that's what it takes. Like if I go here, main chart, there we go. It's 247 lines of code, and then I also need a column like this. Now the column is 517 lines of code. So you added the column, you added the main, together they are 750 lines of code. What is that, 50 kilobyte or something like that? You add it to your project and it's done. You don't need to add the full 200 kilobyte and add all the 5,000 lines of code if you're just using one column chart. So it's fully modular in a sense that if you just use one or two, sure, add it modularly. And that's why in the website, which is going to be the website for it, it also tells you that you can either download the full library, which downloads the full 5,000 lines of code, 200 kilobyte, or you download the core library, which is the base class, which is just, 8, 10, 11 kilobyte, and you download the actual subclass, which is 40, 50 kilobyte. And these two work together, or you download a full, is up to you. So yeah, this is the 9 chart that it's currently at, and of course full white and dark theme compatible. I can switch like this, as you can see, absolutely perfect. The axis, the vertical axis, and the text over there all absolutely changed to black right away. Fully customizable. And it has a full tutorial, customization guide, and everything that you need to have. Now again, I created this because I wanted my own charting plugin that I can customize and I can use in various different projects, because in some projects I do need different style than in other projects, and this is exactly what it allows you to do. And I would love some feedback on first glance, seeing this video, what you think about it, because I'm planning to add even more customization. Like I'm planning to add as many customization as I humanly can add into the charts to make sure that it's absolutely good for everyone. So for example, you have the custom right here, and you have border radius, right? So in the border radius, for example, that's what it controls the columns, right? So if I do like this, these are squares, but if I do like this, again, you see it's right away cutting it back off, right? So that's kind of what we're trying to achieve here, is that everything should be customizable. It's still in beta. I'm still working on it right now. Each day I'm updating it a little bit as best as my knowledge. But I plan to fully release it within a month or so, like 30 days or something like that, a couple of weeks. and it will be available to everyone to try out under free and personal or hobby license, or add it into their own project, where you will be able to commercially register it into your persona, like yourself, or your business name. And if you register commercially, you can use this charting plugin indefinitely. It will be a lifetime access, meaning that both of these are gonna have the same files. It's exactly downloaded the exact same files. The only difference going to be is that you have full commercial license to put it on websites, where like public websites or applications, even the ones that you make money from, it's completely commercial license to use, right? And it's per developer. So if you're a developer and you're frequently using charts, for a $10 merely, or even if I increase this to $20, it's a lifetime access. You buy it once and you can apply it on 100 projects that you're working on along the time. So I hope this is interesting for some of you, and I will continue to work on these charts. And once I'm ready, I will make another fully detailed video about them and how to use it, and etc., and with like examples, of course.